Any organization and manager must seek to juggle multiple responsibilities. Business is challenged by managing its economic responsibilities to its stockholders, its legal requirements to societal laws and regulations, and its social responsibilities to various stakeholders. Although these obligations may conflict at times, a successful firm is one for which management finds ways to meet each of its critical responsibilities and develops strategies to enable these obligations to help each other. Being socially responsible by meeting the public's continually changing expectations requires wise leadership at the top of the corporation. Companies with an ability to recognize profound social changes and anticipate how they will affect operations have proven to be survivors. They get along better with the government regulators and more open to the needs for the company's stakeholders and often cooperate with legislators as new laws are developed to cope with societal problems. Corporate leaders who possess this kind of social vision believe that business should help create social change rather than block it. With such an attitude, they know that their own companies will have a better chance of surviving in the turbulent social currents of today's world. And companies with this outlook are guided by enlightened self interest, which means that they are socially aware without giving up their economic self interest. According to this view, profits are the reward for the firm as it continues to provide true value to its customers, to help its employees to grow, and to behave responsibly as a corporate citizens. These goals are reflective of the fastest growing non-profitable um, the most profitable firms. Do socially responsible companies sacrifice profits by working conscientiously to promote the social good? Do they make higher profits better than average profits or lower profits than corporations that ignore or flout the public's desires for a high and responsible standard of social performance? Efforts to discover and observe relationship between a company's financial performance and its social performance have produced mixed results. Some studies seem to demonstrate that good social performance also tend to have good records of profit making, which could be an example of enlightened self-interest. For example, scholars found no support for the belief that social responsibility and profitability were trade-offs for businesses. Other research reported that the relationship between profits and social responsibility is sequential. In this view, once the company is profitable, it can afford to be socially responsible in its actions. Others have argued that being socially responsible attracts investors to the firm. The relationship between social responsibility and profitability is extremely complex and difficult to prove. Any social program, for example, an in company child care center, a drug education program for employees, or the lending of company executives as advisors to community agencies, will actually impose immediate monetary costs on the participating company. These short-run costs certainly have a potential for reducing the company's profits unless the social activity is designed to make money, which is not usually the purpose of these programs. Therefore, a company may sacrifice short-run profits by undertaking social initiatives. But what is lost in the short run may be gained over a long period. For example, if a drug education program prevents and reduces on the job drug abuse, the firm's productivity may be increased by lower employee turnover, fewer absences from work, a healthier workforce, fewer accidents and injuries, and lower health insurance costs. In that case, the company may actually experience an increase in its long run profits, although it had to make an expensive outlay to get the program started. Accompanying a firm's economic responsibility to its stockholders are its legal obligations. As a member of society, a firm must abide by the laws and regulations governing the society. How are a firm's legal obligations related to its responsibilities? Laws and regulations are enacted to ensure social responsible conduct by businesses. The high standard of social behavior expected by society are embodied in the society's laws. Can't businesses voluntarily decide to be socially responsible? Of course, but legal rules set standards for businesses to follow. Some firms go beyond the law, others seek to change the law to require its competitors to be more socially responsible. Laws and regulations have helped create a level playing field for businesses that compete against one another. By requiring all firms to meet the same social standards, for example, the safe disposal of hazardous waste, one firm cannot gain a competitive advantage over its rivals by dumping its waste carelessly without the risk of lawsuits, fines, possible jail terms for some of its managers and employees, and unfavorable publicly for its actions. Businesses that comply with laws and public policies are meeting a minimum level of social responsibility expected by the public. Top level managers, along with corporations' board of directors, are generally expected to promote as much value as possible for the company's owners and investors. This can be done by paying high dividends regularly and by running the company in ways that cause the stock's value to rise. Not only are highly profits a positive signal to Wall Street investors that the company is being well run, thereby increasing the stock's value, but those profits must possible make that happen the payment of high dividends to stockholders. Low profits have the opposite effects and put great pressure on managers to improve the company's financial performance. A top manager's job is to interact with the totality of the company's stakeholders, including those groups that advocate high levels of social responsibility by business. Management's central goal is to promote the interests of the entire company, not just any single stakeholder group, and to pursue multiple company goals, not just profit goals. This broader and far more complex task tends to put more emphasis on the long run profit picture rather than an exclusive focus on immediate returns. When this happens, dividends paid to stockholders may be less than they desire, and the value of their shares may not rise as rapidly as they would like. These are the kinds of risks faced by corporate managers who have a legal responsibility to produce high value for the company's stockholder owners, but who also must try to promote the overall interests of the entire company. Putting all of the emphasis on short run maximum profits for stockholders can lead to policies that overlook the interests and needs of other stakeholders. Managers may also downgrade social responsibility programs that increase short run costs, although it is well known that the general public strongly approves social responsible companies. As a response to the conflict between long and short term profit making, an enlightened self interest point of view may be the most useful and practical approach. That means incurring reasonable short term costs to undertake socially responsible activities that benefit both the company and the general public in the long run. Log on to my website www.asifjme.com. I also ask you to visit my blog at asifjme.wordpress.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. Have a wonderful day.